Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. It's John and
Jenna
with Flippin' Ain't Easy. And just quite an eventful week for me in dealing with eBay and their antics. And I'm going to tell you about that here in a second. While we let people kind of roll in here, before we begin, just want to kind of give you the ground rules. What I always tell you guys, if you're with us watching the live, of course, your content, your questions and comments drive the content of this channel. And, make sure you put your questions, comments, just to say hi in the chat is cool too. Love to hear from new people that are watching the program. And if you're watching us after the fact, just couldn't make it, well, hopefully next time. But regardless of how you're watching it, all we really want is for you to hit the like button so that it gets the word out to other people that, this is a halfway decent channel and we have a pretty good community going here. So, this week, I would say, just to give you kind of a rundown, I would say this week, the sales were kind of, we had a good sale, great day on Sunday, as we told you. Monday was okay. Tuesday was on par. And then the last 3 days, including today, we're kind of left with something to desire. But to me, it's, I've got about 35 to 40 new larger items that I'm actually getting ready to prep and put up for sale here. So that'll help a little bit too. Yesterday, Jen and I actually had a meeting with the FedEx rep who met with me, I would say about a month ago. And at the time it was like, actually like 2 months ago. And it was like, at the time it was like, no, really, because we're not doing enough volume of larger packages. And for me, that just wasn't going to be a thing that was going to work. And I kind of told them, hey, we deal with poly bags, and that's kind of how we do some of the larger packaging. So that's going to be a problem. And, to charge like even a $20 fee per week when it's just a mile down the road for me to drop off at UPS was just something that, I don't know, I just didn't feel like paying. But, after we actually met yesterday, and, the thought of it is, the disruption of me having to say, oh crap, it's 5 p.m. I need to get these packages over to the UPS store. And then I'm loading up the car. Sometimes it's a couple packages. Sometimes it's like 10, 12. And to get there and to unload everything. And in a couple cases, they've closed early. I've had to go to a different one. And it's just a disruption. So my time has some value. I at least think it's more than $4 an hour. I think that's a good investment to have someone just come and pick these things up. Now, the idea of, it got kind of romantic in here. Ah, awesome. But the idea of, changing the way we do our packing, and we had a conversation about it. And look, FedEx, and I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but FedEx, they don't want you to have anything on your packages except for cardboard. And of course, tape it down and whatever. And they don't care what that cardboard looks like. So if that means that we have this beat up box that's really not suited for shipping, and we wanted to put a layer or two of bubble on it to give it more protection, and then maybe Frankenbox our own box, and then just hold it together with really good tape, then they would take it without charging those extra fees. And so I don't know. I don't even begin to even recall how or why this FedEx rep got a hold of me in the first place, but I'm kind of glad that he did. He's a really nice guy, willing to work with me, and maybe it'll help the rates a little bit. Couple things I wanted to talk to you guys about that kind of came up yesterday, actually 2 days ago. One is the whole VERO situation. You guys know that I've been fighting with VERO, with eBay, just their. And it's not my other account. My secondary account never gets hit. There's more items on that account, right? But the stuff that I've left on my Value Trends account, my main account, eBay is constantly finding things to VERO me over. I have had this keyboard. It's a Logitech K120 wired keyboard, brand new in the box, selling for $15, just trying to get rid of it. I mean, keyboards, the lower end basic keyboards really don't sell for much value anyway. I'm just trying to get rid of it. And so I had it listed for international sales as well. And I got hit with a VERO. It's the VERO, what the heck do they call that? Let me get to it here real quick, because even I forgot about the actual name of it, but I've never heard of it before. That was the other one. That was the newer one that came across today. It's the Parallel Import Policy, the VERO Parallel Import Policy. And the great thing is it really just said, hey, now see if maybe I'm smoking something here, but I don't think that's the case. You have Logitech, a large company like Logitech. This is not some random third-party cheap brand that we're talking about. Okay, so Logitech is somehow bothered enough that I'm selling my $15 keyboard, and I have the the European Union, EU, as one of the places that I ship to. They took the time to write eBay a letter. This is what eBay's saying, that they wanted it removed. Now, albeit there's other sellers, this is what always seems to happen, other sellers that are selling the very same item, shipping to the EU and other parts of the world. And it just so happens that they just had to take time out of their day to get this $15 keyboard, this one listing, removed. And this is where eBay is really disingenuous about the whole thing. They want to pretend like that little, that little reason is going to be something that I guess most sellers will believe it. But it's far-fetched. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
They just want you to shut up and go away.
They do. And so here we are. I have nothing, I just decide just to leave it alone. I'm not going to call eBay and, because what I wanted to do in the email that they send me, I want to learn from this. So there's a link and it says, VERO Parallel Import Policy. So cool. I click on it. It just takes you to the general VERO policy. So I kind of file it away. Today, I get another one. It's a brand name policy violation. Apparently, I'm supposed to say, and I think it like compatible with or for, and I had something along those lines. I didn't try to represent the item as being a genuine, it's a toner cartridge. It's one of those third-party ones. I didn't try to represent it as being something that it wasn't, yet here we are, it gets taken down, and really I don't care, but it's like, okay, enough is enough. I mean, it's happening like in spurts. And to tell me, and these are older listings, by the way, I didn't do anything. Maybe I did a end item sell similar to reactivate the listing, but it isn't new merchandise that I'm listing on the site. And to just warn me, and I don't care. They can do all that stuff that they want, but the problem is that eventually it leads to suspensions. And if you do it enough, they think you're doing it enough. This is it hurts your account. It hurts your account health. And so I'm very protective of that. So I called eBay today after this one, and I said, look, I'm just trying to learn here. I want to be in compliance with what you guys are doing, but you guys, I believe, are selectively just kind of picking on this account. The idea that you have AI or a bot in the background or someone in the background or in the back room that's looking at these listings. It's to tell me that you have a trust and safety program where you go after one or two listings and leave the other 20 or 30 identical listings up in the guise of trust and safety. Really it's just blowing smoke. It's not honest. And that's a big problem that I have. But she said she was going to look into it and she'd get back to me. And, whatever. Take that for what it was. I just didn't want to be transferred again. I just wanted to, I just called to find out, where's this link for the parallel import policy? What I ended up doing is I just went in and I, for the, my smaller items, I just turned off international shipping. I only get a couple orders, maybe a couple orders a week for international. And, if they're going to, say, okay, strike two, here's another one where this company doesn't want it sent to Zimbabwe. I mean, if there's no list or place for us to know, I mean, it would be a long list, but, it should be a way that we can actually access information so we can educate ourselves. The folks who want to know more about a particular policy and just eBay just wants to operate in secrecy for some reason. The last thing, and I'll get off my soapbox here, and it's something that I want to give a shout out to Steven or Stefan, who sent me an email about this. And what I want to do is I want to do a little screen share and show you that USPS is changing their shipping, and it's going to be a USPS Ground Advantage is what it's going to be called. It's no longer going to be called USPS First Class. And this is product and pricing simplicity, service reliability, affordable shipping solution. United States Postal Service files with PRC to streamline package options for consumer and business of all sizes through new product offering, USPS Ground Advantage. Now, in a nutshell, I'll kind of give you the bullet points here. They're saying it's going to be lower prices for shipping services. So now they're touting that in January of 2022, last year, they reduced some ground products by 7%, Parcel Select ground by 12%. I don't know how true that is. I don't really recall that, but this tells me that whatever is replacing this grounded USPS Ground Advantage is going to be the new name of first class mail. And that shouldn't be a hike in rates. So let's hope that's the case. What kind of caught my eye is they're saying that products are going to take anywhere, instead of 2 to 8 days, it's going to be from 2 to 5 days. So these are all positive things. And simplify shipping product offerings. And what caught my eye is here, they're going to expand first class package service to 70 pounds, among other enhancements. So now this is confusing to me, because if we're talking first class packages being raised from 1 pound to 70 pounds, well, isn't that kind of what Parcel Select ground was? Sort of a generic version of paying a priority mail price for a larger package. So I got to say, look, I'm still looking at shipping out items that are under 2 pounds by USPS mail. I probably won't utilize 70 pounds by USPS. And especially if I, start working with FedEx, and if I comply with their rules a little bit better and make it work out a little bit cheaper rates, I think I won't even be utilizing USPS a lot. But for a lot of you guys, I think it's important to let you guys know. I think I might do a video and dive in a little bit more on this, but I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew, what's happening out there. So that's what's going on here. Okay, so as I navigate away from that, want to say hello to a lot of you guys. We've got Mark Suddick in the house, got here early. We've got Mavjag Maverick, That Stranger, Gail Carlson, PTS Treasures. Oops, we have Prosters in the house. Gail Carlson, Fisher Flips, Keena's in the house. Wanda Greer, Biscuit Butt is listening somewhere. Victor Wawiorka, Riddle's Closet, AJ13, or is that AJI3? Could be either one. Sandra Hoyer is in the house. Kevin Hawthorne, and many, many more. So we'll get to your comments right now. Mark Suddick was here early, but he says, hope everyone had a great week. Tomorrow may be April Fool's Day, but if you hit that like button now, you get a sale. No joke. What do you have to lose? John guarantees it with a full refund.
That's right.
So the amount I charge you up front to click that like button, you'll get every penny of it back. Mavjack Maverick says you may want to create multiple counts. Probably means accounts, and be done with paying for a store. I did this going back to when they only allowed 50 free listings and never paid for a store. I changed the wording and relist the items that have been able to resell on a different account far outweigh the savings that I would get by owning a store with what they charge a year. I never worry about getting stuck with an item. See, the problem with not having a store, there's benefits to having a store. You have multiple free listings, many more than what they give you if you have some of the larger stores. But the main benefit to me is the markdown sale, which I think really helps drive sales. And I've always been a proponent of the public coupon, not so much the private unless you have a niche. So, for me, it's going to be one of those things where I'm going to continue with my stores. Now, what very well could happen is that I have 2 stores running right now, and I've one for my main store, one for my just like a clearance, like just the crap that I'm just trying to move and sell. It doesn't matter if I, make a couple bucks or not. I'm just moving merchandise. And it may very well be as I start getting rid of all this other crap, the idea was that I was going to merge back to one store and then just start sourcing, keep sourcing the way I am for the main store. But with the way eBay has this store just on lockdown, I mean, it's in their sites. I mean, I don't think it's really hurting my sales any. I'm not going to blame any of my activity and my performance on eBay. I'm just saying that they are going out of their way to injure my account health. I mean, it's either that or I'm on a blacklist somewhere or a flag list somewhere for some reason. And I think maybe it would be time to just move everything over to the second store, which isn't experiencing those kind of problems. So I know everyone has to evaluate their own situation. And, for me, it's like, what's working for you? Is it working for you to have a store? Is it working for you to do what MavJag is doing? That's something you have to evaluate. That stranger says, hey, hope you are all doing well. Gail says, hello, Flippers, having a good week. I mean, yeah, I'd say just overall, it's a decent week. Sure. We're getting better. Jenna's feeling better. I'm feeling better. Gail says, we've had 50-mile-an-hour wind and I'm sitting in the porch strapped to my chair. That sounds like fun. Fisher Flip says, hello, everyone. Keena and her scale is in the house. Wander Greer says, hello, everyone. Hope all are safe. Fisher Flips, I have a feeling John's going to be fired up tonight. You know what? I'm just feeling good. Look, I'm not upset. Look, I've kind of gotten past the upset part. It's been like 6 to 8 months of just eBay toying with me. And for me, it's just, I don't want to come off as, naggy or not naggy, but crying about it. And Jenna's chair,
I'm sorry. It's a,
we'll talk about that situation in a second. But I don't want to come off as being, all I do is cry on these shows and, what is it going to do? I mean, seriously,
you're just fired up.
Yeah. But, I like to tell you guys what's going on and me telling you guys what's going on. It's going to explain what's happening so that hopefully if someone is in the same situation, I try to learn from it, which is why I called eBay, because if I am really selling a keyboard that is going to maybe hurt someone in Poland, I want to know about it. Right. So, and I want to know what the policy is. So eBay is unable to do that. The one agent from the Philippines hung up on me because that's what the first rep did, was send me to the specialty department in the Philippines. And the second one was like, okay, I'm sorry this happened, but I'll follow up, but it shouldn't happen. What are these people going to do? They're not going to do anything. I mean, so can't even learn, I guess. I mean, it's past complaining at this point. It's more about why is it happening so other people don't have to deal with it. Let's see. We have Picky Ricky in the house. Hey, I've suffered badly with eBay not removing feedbacks as well this week. Okay. Hopefully that gets better. Let's see. I'm actually going through some of the sidebar chat before the show. You guys are awesome. You guys show up before the show even begins and start chatting with each other. As far as Jenna's chair, while I have it on my mind, I picked up a chair and it was what do you think of the chair I got for you, the new one?
I like it.
Yeah. It's a $200 chair and it's a customer return chair. It's liquidation. Got it for $8. Under the guise of all the parts might not be there, and they were all there, and it's a pretty solid chair. That's in her office. Now she took the chair that she's been using out there, and she decided she was going to swap it out for Captain America.
Well, I didn't realize. I mean, I guess I knew it was squeaky, but I didn't realize how squeaky.
I'm about to get the WD-40 and spray that down right now.
Yeah,
drive me crazy. Even mine is like in wobble mode.
We're just a wreck with our chairs.
My chair shouldn't do this, and I flipped it over before the live stream, and I'm trying to diagnose why is the thing about the brake and it looked great. All the screws were tight. So who knows? One of these days in one of the live streams, you'll see me tilt over and fall down.
He has fallen out of a chair before, so
I've done all kinds of crazy things.
Stay tuned.
All right, so let's see, AJ. I don't know if it's 13 or AJI3, but I made it here on time for once. I already hit the like button with no sale. So I'd like to return my purchase for full refund, and I intend on sending you back the damaged like button. Yes.
Hey, you have 24 hours. You can't do a refund
right.
until after.
Yes. It's not always going to happen during the show. Prosser says, yeah, well, I'm done with eBay. I left listing on while the shop subscription runs out. Then I'm out. If there's not even listing on eBay or being active, just letting it run down as I transfer everything over. So I'm curious, where are you transferring everything over to? Do you have your own Shopify? Are you
said different platforms later on in
okay? But I'd like to kind of know what your strategy is. Now, I mean, have you realized the loss in your volume of sales, that type of thing? I'm sure a lot of people would be curious to know that. Because look, the reality is this. There's a number of people. I'm not talking about Tommy. Tommy loves eBay. He's killing it on eBay. But I'm talking about there's a number of folks out there who are just kind of done with the eBay game. I mean, everyone has their own thoughts on it. I realize it's a way to shake down and make money off the back of sellers, but I'm willing to play it. Others are willing to play it because it's been working. But there's others that are like, please find me another site that's going to give me similar results and I'm done with eBay. But that's the problem. People ask me all the time and I just can't give you that answer because there really isn't any, other place to go that's going to give you the type of traffic that eBay does. Kevin, he's still from Lakeland, Florida. Thanks for hanging out with us today.
I would be shocked one day if he comes in and he's like from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Wait,
well,
what?
I'm glad we're not doing a live tomorrow. He probably would have done that on April Fool's. Shinville General says hello. Purple Cactus Sales says hello. Dixie Flipper says, hey, John and Jenna, can't wait to see you in Las Vegas next month at the Trash to Cash meetup. Now, you're not going to see her.
I will not be there.
And honestly, I don't even know if I'm going yet. And then it's not because I don't want to go. It's because I told Archie, I said, look, if you want to go, I'll go hang out with you and we'll represent Las Vegas. And he's like, yeah, man. Yeah, sure. But every time I talk to him, it's kind of like the subject gets changed. So I don't know if he's not going anymore. But, the last thing I want to do is just show up by myself and here's some, YouTuber like standing in the corner and, I don't want to be that guy. So always fun to go with friends. If Jenna was here, we would definitely go together. But, if not, I'm not going to be that guy who sits in a booth by himself. I'm not doing that. Let's see. Art is in the house. Art Betzold. Raul Solis says, hello, John and Jenna. Jackie Bleckner's in the house. Tony Resale says, what's up, everyone? How are you doing today, Tony? Trying to get Wanda says, John, are you not concerned that larger packages means more returns? I'm not concerned. And larger packages means so far the last couple months the same number of returns. In fact, I think that they're large packages and people are more inclined to say, you know what, I don't want to mess with this large thing and have to pack everything up, put it back in the box, lug this thing and drop it off at, whatever USPS or UPS, whatever the label says. And a lot of people just don't have time and don't want to mess with it. I think it's more of a deterrent. It's a lot easier to slap a label on a poly bag and, just when your carrier comes to the door, here you go. But I really think that it's not a real big difference. And to me, okay, fine. If it's a legit reason is to send back the item, maybe I didn't properly test it to vet the item to make sure that everything was good with it. And that's on me. But I do my due diligence out here and make sure that things work. Things are what they're advertised as. And a lot of times it's just the buyer who's making up a reason. Like one guy sent back this water machine, and it's one of those things where you fill the reservoir up with maybe like a gallon of water, and it filters everything, and it comes out to be perfectly purified water. And I tested that thing. Well, I packed it up real good, sent it off, and I think you guys know the story. Said that there was like bits and impurities in the water, and he just didn't like the way it was, and he opened a return and sent it back. But guess what? He didn't get his original return shipping back. And, for me, that's a false INAT that you sent me. So, it's one of those things where I was able to, recoup the outbound shipping, relisted it, sold it. That was about 2 weeks ago. And Not a peep. I mean, because it was a good machine. There was nothing wrong with it. So I'm not worried about returns because it's just the cost of doing business. I think if you look at it, I was looking at mine.
I mean, overall, we don't get a lot of returns.
Not a whole lot.
I mean, we do
Now,
a thorough
don't
job
say that too
testing.
loud.
I know.
No,
Sorry.
because it's going to happen. I'm going to get a bunch of returns.
However, it's not common.
Now, as far as dealing with those kind of returns, I look back at my breakdown over the last, because I'm working on my stupid taxes. I mean, I'm always late to the game when it comes to that. And of course, getting all my information as to what my expenses are. I mean, there's been months where I've paid out anywhere between $200 and $1,000 in refunds for returns. And it sucks to have to do that. A lot of the times I can just take the item and relist it when it's a false INAD. And but it's just, you got to figure that into your business model. Got Tommy Z in the house.
Yeah, he asked a question. I think he's asking.
Did I pass it?
No.
Okay.
Right there. I think he's asking the question.
Okay, so Tommy Z says, also don't wrap in craft paper, brown paper, craft paper, question. Well, they don't want anything that's not cardboard.
Yeah, FedEx, we heard it from the horse's mouth. He basically said cardboard or nothing. Otherwise, it gets pulled off the line and it gets.
It has to be done manually.
Put in manually and or boxed up by somebody else.
Well, they have to do it manually. They actually have someone there that'll pull these things off the conveyor belt. And they said we have to pay someone, an extra person to be there to take these packages off. And that's why they try to levy all these fees. So it's one of those things where if I have to ship an item with, the old way, polybag and bubble wrap, well, then I'll just make a trip to the UPS store and be done with it. But it's going to be one of those things where we're going to have to really become good at being, Frankenbox. And it doesn't even have to be a functional.
We are pretty good, actually.
I'm talking about taking 2 layers of flat cardboard that's not even designed for this thing and making it into something that is going to
I have
work.
Had to create where there was a big hole in the side of a box. And I just took a flap from another box and put it on there and taped the thing down all the way around.
He even said that he has people, like people that he works with, that they have scraps of, cardboard, and they're like covering holes, like she was talking about, or creating their own box and then just taping the crap out of it. They don't mind you tape. Of course, you could tape a box, but they just have this thing where it's a problem. Now, I was putting whatever discounts he may or may have for me or may not have for me aside, because that's another issue altogether. Just looking at the different costs, a UPS label on eBay and a FedEx label for ground are about the same, with FedEx being a little bit cheaper. Again, I just don't want surprises when I'm doing business. So and he told me, look, as long as you do everything you're supposed to do, put in all your dimensions, the weight, correct address, and you use cardboard, then 99.99% of the time, you won't see any additional fees. And then, of course, I can always reach out to him and say, hey, what's up with this? If I come up, get hit with something. So,
this is really for the convenience of having someone to come and pick up all these packages, especially on Mondays. John wastes a good hour out of the day going to multiple UPS stores, and then if the USPS lady doesn't show up, which we know she has a 50-50 chance, that's another time consuming part. Mind you, UPS isn't far from us, but it takes away his focus from whatever he's doing. So if he's in a listing mode and, oh God, here we are, it's almost 5 o'clock, it's got to go. There's just, as much as we try to cut down the man hours it takes to do the shipping and all the things together, if somebody could just come and get it and they're reliable and they show up when they say they're going to show up, that's what we want, because our time is worth a lot more than we give ourselves credit for.
Yeah, and if you think about it, $4 a day, and it's just worth, I think, having that, especially if I'm able to say, look, okay, fine, I'm now spending $1 less on average on labels because the FedEx rate is maybe lower than the UPS rate. I'm spending money on poly bags. I'm spending about 20 to $25 for every 100 poly bags. So, so I convert that over to cardboard and maybe get 3 or 4 different sizes, one really large size and kind of like a medium and a small, and just Frankenbox the crap out of stuff when I need to. Then I think that can kind of work. It just, you got to be willing to make changes in this business. And that's one of them.
Just on another side note, on the same subject, we tried UPS pickup. They never showed up, but we were charged still and never refunded. So they already lost in our book when it comes down to that. We don't have a personal rep that we can call and say, hey, they didn't show up with FedEx. Now this, for us, this may not work for everybody. We have somebody we can pick up the phone and we know he's going to answer and say, hey, your driver didn't show up. Or
and he asked us,
and he told us, you better report them. If they're even 5 minutes early, then you need to report it.
Yeah.
So he's from the military. He's real strict, and he wants accountability for all of his drivers. And that's what we're going to give him.
Mm-hmm.
And, like I said, we've tried UPS. They didn't show up and we still got charged, and there was no rectification of the situation. So we have tried other options, and I don't know if it's the drivers in the area, in our particular area anyway. I don't know if that's it, or if, I don't know what it is, but we have not had the best of luck with USPS pickups nor UPS.
Yeah.
So this is just another way of us trying to figure out how to do our business that works for us.
Yeah. And it's a learning thing. I mean, what may be uncomfortable right now will be something we do as second nature, in a year from now, once we get, used to it. Fisher Flip says, used to be a manager at FedEx Ground, and any item that came down the belt plastic was removed and repackaged, and of course, an additional charge to the shipper. And one thing that he did tell me is that there's it's a 5-inch height maximum. Are you all right?
I'm sorry.
Okay. So you can use the poly bags, the plastic wrap, right? But it can't be more than 5 inches. And he said, if it's 5 inches and something jostles inside the package and it becomes 6 or 7, then that's when you get charged. But the way we do it, that's not even possible. So it even kind of made it seem like maybe there's a FedEx first class shipping equivalent that maybe I can just get USPS out of the equation altogether. But that's just something I have to investigate and kind of tinker with.
Yeah, we're going to work in slowly and figure out, it's going to be, a month, maybe 3 months, 6 months to figure out if this is going to be something that actually works for us.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be a jump in and, we got all these deals and all these discounts, and we're doing our packages this way now and that way, and we're making so much money. But no, it's going to be slow and gradual. And once we have trusted that what is being told to us is coming true, then we will put more faith in our packages with them, as far as possibly getting them, most of them to go that way.
No One Designs in the house. Hey, Jenna and John. Dean Funderburk says, what's a VERO? So that's the verified rights ownership. I don't know, maybe that's wrong, but it's basically when you violate the trademark holders, or in this case, like the manufacturer's brand name, maybe you're selling an item that they don't want resold, that type of thing, or maybe it's being resold in a way that they don't want, like shipping it to the the United Kingdom or EU, that kind of thing. And so in theory, it gives the brand owner a chance to reach out to eBay and say, okay, I don't want my item listed here, and you need to remove it. And then eBay gets involved in the middle and then removes the listing and gives you a little nasty gram warning. And then they tell you don't do it again. And they give you like 3 or 4 chances before they say, okay, you're not listening. We're going to suspend your account, kind of thing. So if you're a reseller, Dean, and you don't know what a VERO is, that's actually a good thing in that you haven't had to experience it.
But I would certainly educate yourself into what is on that list.
Oh, yeah.
Or because it could bite you in the butt.
Like certain like medical brands, eBay doesn't want you selling certain medical brands for like that need like a prescription from a doctor. eBay doesn't want you selling like ivory tusk and stuff like that, right? They don't want you, like certain brands, they don't want you to mention their name, like Onesie or Velcro. They don't want you to even use their name, even in the item description.
They're all trademarks, and they will get you every time.
Tommy says, "Happy National Crackhead Day." Well, you're not the authorized person to tell us what day it is. That's Jovial Juggler's job.
I know. Where is he?
I don't know.
You know who we haven't seen in a while? Is Ed. I'm a little worried.
Oh, Ed, the reselling writer.
On the last
I haven't seen him lately. But we have Semperfi's in the house. Found some goodies today that and made a small but decent sale.
Good.
Well, small and decent sale is better than no sale.
That's right.
No One Design 2 says, "Damn, there goes the planet. We have National Crackhead Day." Tommy says, "Not Logitech. There's companies hired by big companies to protect the brand." I believe that is the case, but would they go and say, okay, let's get this one listing out of here? We know there's about 30 other, but yeah, this is enough. We've done our job for the day.
Yeah, it's just too far-fetched to not think that this account in particular is being targeted. Yeah. And we have receipts, we have everything to back it up. So
let's just be honest. And eBay, if you're out there, be honest with yourself. You are not interested in trust and safety on your site. You're not. Okay. You are interested in pacifying people who may contact you and say, we don't want this listing on the site. If you're really serious about removing listings that violate brands, trademarks, or violating your own policy, then you'd get up and have one person go to Fiverr, hire some guy for $3, $5 an hour, and say, go through the site and remove every hoverboard, remove every item that shouldn't be sent to the EU that's on this list that nobody knows about, remove every medical product that is still on the site that shouldn't be listed. And then I'll finally believe in even the idea of having a trust and safety. Call it something else, but until you're actually serious about trust and safety across the board, and not just hitting certain accounts that sell on your platform, then I don't believe it. It's just a term that you call a random department that just harasses people.
And if they're trying to protect the brand, why is our account the one that's our listings are being taken down, and not the other 30 to 50, 100?
Well, why not our secondary account?
Listed? Our secondary account has the same items.
Relatively the same.
At same name brands.
Yeah.
Why are they not being targeted? Tell me.
Well, because we're not on that account we don't really advertise that account a whole lot on this channel. I mean, very clear. We talk about our first main account, and it is what it is. I guess it goes with the territory of having a channel, but I'm not going to let it bring me down. I'm not going to be fired up and mad and waste 5 hours on the phone with eBay. I'm just going to get out there and keep listing, and fine. You don't want me to send this to, the Vatican. I mean, the Pope needs a new keyboard. He's not going to be able to buy it from me. So that's just the way it is. Let's see. Truman Lost in Time Picker says, hello all. Hello, John and Jenna. Remember your supply coupon. Last day to redeem it. I hope everyone gets to go to a garage sale this week.
Yeah, we already redeemed ours.
Yeah. We do that like tomorrow. I will get my, I told Jenna, look, she likes the eBay tape. Okay. So she likes the little to put the perimeter of the package with
Yeah,
eBay
the
tape.
seams. I like to cover seams with the eBay tape.
Yeah, because you have that like flaps of like excess poly bag, and it just looks crappy.
It just looks a little more put together.
Yeah, and so we ran out of that about a week ago. I said, okay, wait, we'll just the first, I'll go ahead and order some more. I'm not paying full price for eBay tape. I'll use the coupon for that. Picky Ricky says, do you think that you might be getting VEROs, John, because you remove the backgrounds and your photos ends up on Google in competition with theirs? But okay, there may be some thought into that, and I think our mailman's here. Maybe we put the packages out, but yeah, go look. I'm curious. But I think there's more to it, because if that was the case, I wouldn't be finding other brands. Yeah, she's kicking my desk now. I wouldn't be finding other brands that have, or other sellers that have the same brand listed with a stock photo, which has no background, or maybe they remove their own background. So I just think that I am maybe on a large list of sellers who they are looking for anything and everything that they can to, VERO me. Processes VERO feedback server issues, just another reason why flipping ain't worth it. It's worth it. I think, I mean, the money's there. I can't find another site. Maybe, I guess you can maybe argue Amazon, but when I'm getting my own merchandise that's kind of technically coming from Amazon, things that they don't want, Amazon returns, I think that would be frowned upon if I actually put them up back on Amazon for resale. So that's kind of why I haven't done a lot of Amazon lately. Tommy does not sell to Europe anymore or Mexico. Let's see. I still sell in Mexico. So what's wrong with the packages to Mexico? Maybe there's something I'm missing there. Michael Denzer says eBay takes out my old listings. Then when I call and ask, they can't help me, tell me to go unsold, but nothing's there. Okay. So sometimes, like with VEROs, some VEROs will, like the VERO they took off for the parallel policy, they left in my ended items. So I can go back in there and relist it and change the shipping policy on that, which is I think what we did on that particular item. But on the one with the you got to reword your brand name, or the brand is used incorrectly in this title, which it wasn't. They will remove that, and you just basically have to start from scratch. It's pretty frustrating. No One Designs. A side note: August 15th is National Tommy Bahama Day. Now, that's an actual shirt brand, so I don't know if that's true or not. But Biff Buffalo says, VERO disputes are triggered automatically. You're probably swept up with many others. VEROs are the minefield of an everything seller. You're right with that. You're right with that.
But why are they still on eBay?
Well, you mean the same items?
Yeah.
Because it's
ours are being pulled down.
If everything was okay, we're going to do a Logitech keyboard sweep today. So every seller who sells, this item is going to be swept up. I'd be fine with that. And right. But that's not what's happening. I
can't speak because it makes me mad.
Again, I had a hover soccer ball. Okay, it's just think of a soccer ball, plastic cut in half, that when you put batteries in it, it kind of glides across the floor for little kids.
Grass.
And it's actually more of a cement thing I don't think it'll work on grass. But it was removed.
Soccer ball, you would think plays on a field.
I know, but this is called a hover soccer ball. And it was removed because they thought it was a hoverboard. Okay, fine. You thought it was a hoverboard. That means you don't want hoverboards on your site. You can go right now and find hoverboards upon hoverboards upon hoverboards, and they're being allowed to be sold. And let alone the whole hover soccer ball was still being sold. So not only did they misinterpret their own policy, they didn't even really.
They can't even explain it when you call them. I mean, Bob is a terrible explanation.
Well, I don't deal with
policies.
Bob hung up on
Bob and all the other minions that are there.
Michael Denzer says, I only sell USA only, international too risky.
Yeah, we're not doing international anymore. We don't sell enough internationally to make it worth our headache or my anger. It's not worth it anymore.
Excuse me. Yeah, I'm fine. See, Jenna's really getting fired up because she's getting ready for in 2 weeks. She's going to be.
Why do we have to bring this up every time?
Because you're getting yourself ready. Tommy says Nike's Vero people took a listing down of mine for Europe shipping. So I just removed Europe and England altogether. Don't need those few sales a month.
Yeah, we started with Puerto Rico and Mexico, took them off long time ago, years ago. And then there was another one that kept ordering from us, and we kept having problems with them. So we're like, forget it. And then we took them off. And so now we're just not going to, we're selling domestic only. That's it.
I mean, if you're having a problem moving merchandise, this whole argument, I think I even made it, like, hey, open up your stores to international sales because you're opening your stores up to 70% more traffic, right? But it doesn't quite work out that way because the math is still, you're going to get more sales within the country you sell in, more than international, and so, yeah, you might be opening your items to 70% more people, but I know you want to say something, but it doesn't necessarily mean 70% more sales. Go ahead.
The bottom line is eBay does not treat every policy the same for every single seller. What's happening to us may not be happening to you because they don't do things across the board. They nitpick, here, there, and everywhere to whatever seller they choose to, stock that day. And it's a lot of times it's us. And, the bottom line is eBay is not consistent whatsoever. And so what you may be able to sell in Europe, we're not. Well, it's just, it's just the way it is. We can tell you all day long what eBay's doing, wrong on our end, but maybe something's going wrong on your end. They're not letting you sell something, and we are. So my point is, it's not an even playing field on eBay. Whereas Amazon, if there's something that's not allowed to be listed, you can't even list it in the first place if it's in there. They're the words that they have flagged in a listing for anybody.
Well, a lot of the listings are already there. A lot of times you just gated and can't list it. But, I look, here's the thing, guys. Many of you guys may have watched the 60 Minutes thing on eBay and what they put the Steiners through a few years ago. I got to tell you, if I didn't hear about that, a few years ago, I wouldn't be so jaded, I don't think. I mean, because who would actually really think that kind of thing could happen to just a couple who's just trying to be honest about eBay? Yeah. Now, you fast forward to the last 6 months, 8 months, we have a very similar type of a channel. They don't have a channel. They have a newsletter, but we have a channel on eBay, and we're just honest. We'll give eBay their flowers when they do something good.
Got my sale.
Oh, okay, good. You must hit the like button.
I don't know if I did. So.
But we'll give eBay their flowers when they do something good. But at the end of the day, if they're going to do something that hurts sellers, I'm going to talk to you guys about that.
Yeah, hit the like button, guys. What the heck? We're only at 13.
Really? Only
That's
13?
Including
only
me.
13 of you want to sale in the next 24 hours. Okay.
Come on, let's go. Hit the like button.
Yeah,
Jenna's fired up.
She's getting ready for
No, I'm not
next Friday, but the Friday after.
Getting ready for that.
But
that's gonna be a wing it kind of a live. So
yeah,
brace yourself. We may not see 139 people that day.
Oh, it'll be a record, I think.
No.
Yes. Because you're the star of the show.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I think people agree. But, that's why I'm so I probably would be like, wow, I'm just the unluckiest guy in the world. I'm in Vegas. I'm not going to go to the casino until this stops because I'm being hit with a lot of unluckiness, right? How I can have two accounts, one with more items than on my main store and more of the kind of items that'll be Vero than what I have on my main store. But yet I'm getting hit with Vero complaints like it's no one's business. Now, if you think about it, executives can sit in a back office and plot all the kind of things that they did. So it doesn't really seem that big, far-fetched that they could actually, okay, fine. We're not gonna do anything like that to any YouTubers that disagree with us. But maybe if we find out who they are, where the store is, or what their store is, that maybe we could do something internally that can't be tracked and isn't against the law, I guess, technically. But I'm still making the sales. You know what? It's just an annoyance.
Okay,
It's like,
I was wrong. For some reason, I can't see the lights.
okay.
Like I had to go out of it and go back in. I see them now.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
So it's like, look, you're out and about having a good day at the park, and you know what? You're having a good time with the family and friends, and here comes a bunch of flies, and they're just kind of in your way, and they're annoying the crap out of you. But are you gonna let that ruin your day, or are you just gonna you know what? Maybe, you know, shoo them away and just try to ignore it and power through. And that's kind of what my mindset is just to power through this thing. But nonetheless, it is an annoyance, and you know, we do need to move forward. Let's see. Jovial's in the house, similar to what I've been whining about, but with DME products. CS reads specifics on brand names, etc., as if he was scolding me that I should know better. I asked where I could read up on that info. And that's the comedic thing about this is when you ask them, please, I don't want to, I mean, really, if you don't have a conversation with me, then I'm fine with that. But please show me where I can study up on this and read the policy for myself, because I want to learn so I don't make the same mistake again. Right. And most of these people will not, even some of the USA reps will not be able to engage in that conversation because they don't know the policy themselves, nor where to find it. Because even the policy that eBay sends you to a generic policy, and like the parallel import policy, that link that they give you on their warning doesn't even take you to that policy. Tommy's was removed because they were new, pre-owned, no issues.
They were new
and pre-owned, or not pre-owned, or they were not new, pre-owned with no issues. Nonetheless, you're not selling to Europe anymore, and I'm understanding why. David M says, hello, everyone. Hello, John and Jenna. Thanks, David, for being here. We've got Amazon Seller 99, the flipping sports guy, Tommy, eBay coming for you again. If Vero isn't eBay's fault, eBay is fine. eBay is fine. I mean, it's just like, look, go enjoy yourself at the park with the family. Flies are going to happen. And, you know, that's the thing with returns and Veros and scammers. These are all annoyances, and you can't let them, you know, get you in a mode where you're like, okay, I can't do well on this platform.
It's one of my biggest annoyances.
I mean, it's just an annoyance.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for those three things, I don't think people would bother to email me, say, hey, I'm going through all this stuff, right? So, you know, it is what it is. Gail says the only first class will be letters. And I mean, you got those,
soon, right?
Those forever stamps and stuff. So, but I don't know. What are they going to call it if they're changing the name? David Thompson says, howdy, John and Jenna. First time I've caught you live. Always tuned in later. Well, thanks, David.
Hello, David.
No One Design says, at this point, I do not care if USPS raised first class at all. All my USPS first class is set to $7.99, so I'm good unless they raise it over $7.99. And it's just going to be a different product. And they said that it's going to be sometime like summer of this year. So I'm sure we'll get more information as that gets closer. But I'm going to try to do some more digging and maybe make a video on it for those who are interested. The flipping sports guy says, YouTube tells me Vero violations is all eBay coming down on people, not us listing stuff we shouldn't. Yeah, I mean, you might get that message from me, I guess, but look, there are things that we shouldn't sell on eBay. And the problem is when eBay misinterprets their own policy, like when I'm selling Proactive, it's an acne cream. You can buy it anywhere. You buy it online. You can buy it. You don't need a doctor to be involved in your life to get a prescription for Proactive. You know, there's other things. I had 2 warnings hit towards that suspension because they misinterpreted their own policy, and you know, it was reinstated every time for me to resell. Yet they never took the warning away. You know, why wasn't the other 12 sellers that are selling that item, the same exact kit, ever you know, removed?
More than 12.
There is about 12 active listings on that particular product. David M says, hi, Tommy. Tommy, I sent you a DM. Okay, well, you sent a DM. Okay, I want to get out of the sidebar conversations, so I apologize for that. Jovial Juggler, restricted for 3 days, and I am the one who called about this in the first place. No longer trust what the reps say, as I asked about a listing 2 days before I was restricted. Yeah. Sometimes
I feel your pain. I feel it.
LSGS Rob, hey John, how you doing? House sales, just had my best sourcing day ever today. That's awesome.
Ooh, cool.
I love good sourcing days. Last 7 days, 2,800. I can't complain about the pace that we're on. It's just that the last 3 days could have been better, but you know what? Just got to work a little harder and get more stuff up, more value in my store. The sales are outpacing the listing now. The listing is more difficult when you're selling larger items, because these large items, you got to get them down, you got to unbox them, you got to, of course, inspect them. But it's on a lot larger level. It slows you down when you're dealing with the large items like that. Let's see. Raul Solis is in the house. Thanks for being here, Raul.
No one designed to. My shirt is not horseshoes. It is leopard print. Thank you.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. I thought it was a bunch of U's myself. But,
yes, it is a leopard print.
Tommy says multiple stores is a huge time waste, not worth it for any reason. I disagree. Again, if you have stuff, I've proven it. I had a bunch of stuff. Now, if you're a niche seller, then you're right. It doesn't make any sense to have multiple stores. But if you have, again, I was selling stuff that like I'd say 60% of my store was just, $15, $10 to $15 crap. And I really believe just on my results, night and day from where I was at, that the ASP increase by getting rid of those smaller items, moving them to their own store, has really helped our situation. So,
yeah, they said for some reason, these items that were not selling for a year, 2 years, however long they were just sitting there, because mind you, we have moved twice since we've moved to Vegas. So there's things that didn't get caught to pull down and liquidate another way. So these things were just stagnant, sitting on the edge of the account. And then as soon as we moved them over to the other account, boom, they sold.
yeah.
So it works. I mean, for us, it worked.
I mean, it works. Now, it would not make any sense at all for someone like Tommy, who has a niche, sells you sell mostly shoes, you sell some clothing items, but it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense just to, okay, we're going to move the 10 shirts that we have up in the store to its own store. Yeah. But we're talking, at least half of my store was holding me back. And of course, that coupled with the sourcing. And the reason why I know it's kind of the sourcing and what changes we made is because the sourcing really didn't kick in for like a few days after we made that change. And once we made that change, we were getting sales on the items that we had in our store before we started changing the way we source.
We're doing so much better now than we were 4 months ago. 4 months ago, we were about to get real jobs, like 9 to 5s.
I mean, it was pretty bad.
It was getting a little scarce. So when we tell you what we're doing now is changed our business 110%, I am not even kidding. I
mean, look, everyone that struggles in this business is in a position where, okay, I can stay with what I'm doing. It's that insanity thing we talk about, continue doing the same thing and hoping that something changes, or it's time to try something new. And you got to be willing, and it's not comfortable. You got to be willing to get out there, do something that you think may fail, be willing to fail, and to see if it works. And you just can't say, okay, we don't have a lot of yard sales and I only source at a thrift store. You got to really dig deep and maybe see if you have a liquidator in your area. I know I'm poo-pooed on liquidation lately, but for some, it might be the way to go. LSGS Rob, that's the worst excuse for not having a store. If it's too expensive for you, that's you problem, not eBay. Sell more to make up the difference. It's really not a lot. Yeah, that's just the cost of doing business. I didn't even think about the cost of my store,
Yeah, it's not even a thought.
Spend, hundreds of dollars a month on labels and stuff. $20 for a store is not going to be that big of a deal. I know the buyer's paying for the labels, but I mean, even if you're making $1 or $2 on the difference between what the buyer sends you for the label and what it actually costs you, you're paying for your store that way, without having to come out of pocket. Let's see. Michael Denzer says, if I have 1,100 listings and growing, should I upgrade from basic to one above benefits? Well, the benefits, I think what I like is the ability to go in and end and sell similar like on a weekly. So I might go like once. My strategy lately is, okay, you get about a 48-hour boost. So maybe Thursday evening, get in there and do a sell similar, end item sell similar. There's a certain process you got to follow. Otherwise, you run the risk of deleting all your listings. You don't want to even run the risk of listing multiple listings. And I've seen it where eBay will actually allow you to list multiple listings. It'll be maybe you have it at the same title. You have one item with the title, you go sell similar to let you list it. I've even actually listed by accident a listing without photos, and that's not supposed to happen. So that's the basic, I would say, main motivation for me. I'm sitting here with a 300 item store, and I have up to 10,000 listings, which means that I can just go crazy with the sell similar routine. But I like that extra little boost. I did it yesterday, and it's helped a little bit today. So Piggy Ricky says, I like a store, but I don't want to change over to a store when I have 1,500 listings. Well, it's not really changing anything over. You're just basically adding the storefront to your existing account. And then you can go in and add coupons and markdown sales and all that stuff. Roman's in the house. Everyone affected by tornadoes today, stay safe. Hello, everyone. Tommy will sit in his basement shelter room today just in case.
Do they have tornadoes in Delaware?
I don't think so.
Well, you never know. There was one in California, apparently, just a few days ago.
Jovial Juggler says, doesn't make a difference what they say, because I asked about what the CS rep said. Since the convo is recorded for quality assurance, yeah, right, I would have removed the $15 item had I known. Yeah, it's just not worth getting those violations like that. That's that keyboard. I mean, really, I don't care where it goes as long as it sells to someone, but I'm not going to send it anymore to international. So Designs agree with Tommy with the multiple store in the beginning, but when you have a much larger inventory and sell in different several niches, multiple store makes sense and traffic will be optimized.
Right.
I like it. I mean, look, let's just say I only sell shoes and clothing. Well, just maybe if you have enough of each, maybe it's a good idea to split them up into two different niches. Yeah, you got to toggle back and forth. And, like Jenna, she has her phone set to the secondary account. I have my phone set to the main account. So when we get a message or an offer, we're not missing it, that type of thing. Tommy says, selling liquidation is a huge VERO risk. I can give you a list of people that get suspended all the time for VERO. Your competitors and the brands report you. eBay has zero to do with VERO. Okay. But again, why would a brand, or okay, let's just say, why would someone representing a brand like Logitech take the time to send an email about a $15 item instead of maybe running a search and saying, here's a list of items. Here's all the items currently for sale from this brand that we're representing. Please remove them. Because, again, I can go in a week from now, and those same listings that were up when I was taken down are still going to be there.
Yeah,
so
it's just no one's on the same page. eBay will tell you, oh, it's because, we don't want you sending them to Europe or whatever. But then again, they're going to tell somebody else the same thing. Well, there's other listings that are going to Europe for the same item. Nothing is consistent.
Well, here's the problem, Tommy. I'll just tell you, look, everything I'm telling you about, here's what I think. I think I'm red flagged. I think they're looking at my account. I think they're taking down listings whenever possible. That's all a hunch. I'm guessing. It's an educated guess based on patterns. Just as the information, like selling liquidation is a huge VERO risk, I agree, because you get more people who sell liquidation are going to be VERO'd with these third-party brands that they get in the pallets. But as far as the idea that anyone knows, here's how VERO really works, I would love for someone to show me exactly how VERO works. And the reason why I can tell you that that is a rarity to find someone that'll be able to explain how VERO works, because eBay doesn't even have the link to each of these little VERO policies that they like to, warn you about. And you click on it, it just goes to the general VERO policy. I think a lot of the things we talk about, a lot of the things that we firmly believe are our own hunches, because eBay is not transparent with its own policies and procedures. So it leaves us, it's kind of like dealing with the algorithm. We think we know what the algorithm wants and we do it. We play to the algorithm, or we think it's not important. But those are all hunches that we have. And you hear this channel talk about it, this channel talk about it. You see how great one channel is doing, or you see how your own experience is doing, and you think this is the way it is. But you can't lose sight of the fact that we're all different. We all sell different things. Electronics will have a different, a different type of customer than shoes. And I found this out for myself. Selling military patches, just collectibles, have a way different kind of customer than any other item I've ever sold. And it's just hard to put everything and everyone into the same kind of a category as far as how VERO affects one type of seller versus another. It just because of the lack of information that's out there. The flipping sports guy says specialists in the Philippines. No, that's sending the special people to service agents who can't understand what you're saying. And that's what I said to the rep when I was on the phone. I said, look, being in the call center industry for 26 years, it makes I was in a department. It was a specialty department. We had to actually pass a test that showed that we were fluent and we actually knew the policies. And there are many policies at the train at Amtrak with the way the train schedules are, the pricing and everything. We had to know that like the back of our hand, and we had to pass a test and score like 90% on this test. Otherwise, we didn't qualify just to be able to bid on a certain job within that department. The idea that your least experienced, your least versed people, or the people that have the least, maybe they're never sold on eBay because they can't sell in the Philippines. They're being asked to go in and do a specialty job, something that requires a lot of experience to navigate from one situation to the next.
It takes experience.
You have a lot of people in the United States that have really good knowledge, and they're just frontline reps, and they're not given the chance to work in those departments. It needs to be flipped around. If I was the only free advice I'd give eBay is have the frontline reps take the call. I know none of us want to deal with the Manila reps, but at least I don't. But you can say, look, my situation's a little bit more advanced. Please put me over the proper department. You get sent to a U.S. rep, and that's where the buck lies. That's where the buck stops and your situation's handled. But, who am I? No One Design says, I bet John took away Jenna's chair because she gave him a smack about the heavy item on top shelf. No. I just suggested it. I didn't know this chair was Squeakville.
I didn't really. I mean, I knew it was squeaky, but I didn't realize it was this loud.
Tectonic wants to know, the rules and regs for drop shipping on eBay. I know the rules and regs as it pertain to what you could get away with back in 2017 and 2018. I don't know what's changed. I know that they do flag your account. I know that you can attach certain APIs, which are third-party programs, to eBay to do like inventory management and stuff like that. But to be honest with you, it's not worth it. The margin's too small, and therefore, at that time, I just said it wasn't worth it, and we just started actually buying product to resell. So I'm well behind what I guess the tricks of the trade are right now. I wouldn't even begin to know. Roman says VERO mostly is getting rotted out by other sellers. Ratted out. Well, ratted. And 100% says Tommy. The flippin' sports guy says Roman employs bots to scour eBay and submit VERO reports. Anarchy is freedom says WD-90.
From the WD-40.
Yeah, this would be WD-40 for sure. But probably saying WD-90 because it's kind of loud. So that's the first thing after this show we're going to do. We're going to fix that. Picky Ricky says, I've never had a VERO, but I do have a Logitech USB microphone up on eBay. Yeah. I don't know why that is. I mean, I would think that it doesn't matter where your brand is going, but, it is what it is. Roman says, Paul, I hid my eBay server today because tornado threat in Cleveland. Jovial Juggler, who knows what WD stands for without looking it up? Well, as it pertains to the actual that stuff we're going to use in the chair, I have no idea.
We're not going to use WD-40. We have silicone.
silicone spray. We have WD-40
We
too,
have
so we have
silicone spray.
we have
We use
both.
silicone spray.
Let's see. Water Destruction Edition 40. I don't know if that's it or not, but
I think
okay.
Jovial's is it roll up one more.
No, that's what you want.
He's
yeah.
the one asking the question.
Okay.
I don't know that he ever answered it. I didn't see it.
Michael says I got a fake PSA slab, so I returned and reported the seller. So yeah, okay. I'm sorry that happened. I mean, but look, we're not selling anything fake. We're accurately describing what we're selling. I need to catch up a little bit. I'm way behind. I am way behind. But Rosie Games is in the house. Hi, John and Jenna. Nice to see both of you. Hope you guys are having a busy week. I mean, as busy as we're making it, Flipping Sports Guy says, Roman, I make my YouTube return tomorrow with a 24-hour live. I need the watch hours. Thumbnail will be posted soon starting at 10 a.m. So check that out tomorrow. AEIOU from eBay, you have to go to the TTC gathering. You'll enjoy it. That's Trash for Cash, or Trash to Cash, or Trash for Cash. And you won't be a loner. You know what? I just don't want to be that guy that shows up and, I'm just standing there. I'm sure people will come up to me and stuff, but I just don't like to be that guy. We got to talk Archie into going.
It's because I'm not going to be there. Well, yeah. Archie said later he's going.
Okay. Well, he needs to.
He's behind, I think, because when he's answering, Archie is behind. I think he's rewound it because when he is talking about something, it's something we already talked about earlier.
Flipping Sports Guy says it's time to speak on all the conspiracies. Well, I'm not going to do that. And look, again, this is just me saying what I feel. You guys have been with me this long, know that I'm very passionate about what I think and what I feel. And I can tell you, many of you don't believe what I'm saying, and that's fine. I still respect your opinion and what you guys think. I look, don't bother me any, but I just know that I've dealt with patterns all my life, and especially my last job, you learn to recognize patterns and behaviors, and when things continue in a pattern, but not for someone else or another, similar store, or in this particular case, eBay, you think something's up. Maybe I'm wrong, but until I'm shown otherwise, I'm going to continue feeling that way. Let's see. Process says anyone can sell on eBay. You could sell sand to Arabs on eBay, but if are committed to selling your stuff other than eBay, you'll do it. You'll find a way, and I'm finding that now. And it's good. You have items that are that have some demand. You could sell them anywhere, and I think that's the thing. If you don't have those kind of items, and you really rely on that traffic, that's where eBay kind of holds you hostage, because you can take those same items from Mercari or Poshmark, and you're not going to sell near the number of items that you sell on eBay. Mark says we all need to start a fund to buy Jenna and John 2 new chairs for them to use in the live. Well, my chair's fine until it falls apart. I'm going to roll with it. I like my chair. I like my gray chair. I love it.
I just need to do some tightening of some bolts, it sounds like, and so a little bit of
by the time we get to that Friday live in 2 weeks, it'll be perfect. She'll have it tuned up for you. Process says you need to diversify into all other selling outlets, but most of them don't have the cost eBay has either. A lot of them do. I mean, like Mercari has 20%. Amazon's right up there. Poshmark's right up there, kind of thing. I've always been the one where, and this is something that came up in our meeting with the FedEx guy. He said, we have people that consultants that consult with us that if you do enough volume with FedEx, and I never knew this was a thing, they will consult with you to show you how to grow your own business on your own, your own Shopify type thing, and best practices to drive traffic to your site, that kind of thing. And it's a service that normally costs like $3,000-$4,000 for the consultation. But if you do enough business with FedEx, on a quarterly basis, then they, allow you to have that consultation once a quarter. Kind of a cool thing, but I'm nowhere near that kind of situation. Maybe I do know, like all these cross-listing programs do allow you to send listings to like Shopify. So maybe, I mean, it can't be any worse than Bonanza, right?
Have you checked Bonanza?
Oh no, I don't check Bonanza very often. I had a guy who was sending me all these messages on Bonanza, and it was kind of harassing me. I sold him this camcorder, and I think I told you guys about it. Camcorder in like a old vintage leather bag. I had a battery, but no charger. I picked it up at a yard sale for like $10. And I realized that I could have sold it for like $60 or whatever. I think I sold it for like 30 because look, I can't test it. The battery's dead. It's been, it's an older camcorder, and I can't test it. Looks really nice, but that's about all I have on it. So the guy bought a charger for it, and I guess it had an error on it, and it was like mad at me. It's like, well, what do you want me to do? I could have sold it to you at full price, guaranteeing that it was going to work, or I just sell it under the parts or repair guys and move on. And he was like, well, I'll send it back to you at I don't even want any money back. Just I'll send it back to you. I'm like, dude, don't spend any more money on this. And he's like, hey, I'm going to be out in Vegas. I'm going to be out in Vegas this week. Can I have your address? I don't want you showing up to my house. So, that was kind of funny. That was all on Bonanza.
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah. Let's see. Prosper says, you just need to diversify into all of that selling outlets. I think I talked about that. AEIOU from eBay. Can you get them to stop? I can't scroll up far enough to see the question you're on. Part of what I love about your show is you try to hit every question. I do try. Are you all right?
I just ran over my toe.
Uh-oh. Darn wheels. Yeah, we try to get to every question. We feel like this. If you guys are going to show up and participate in this live stream, I'm going to try to hit as many comments as I can. If it's important enough for you guys to type in what's on your mind, just to say hello, it's important for me to acknowledge that. Callie Deb says, hi, everyone. Thanks for being here. Let's see if I can kind of catch up here. Well, at that time, it was 27 minutes out after the hour, and you're trying to figure out where you are on the feed. And that's how far I am behind on the feed. So I'm going to get through this here. Amazon seller says, just order a UPS pickup on Pirate Ship for $4. FedEx seems to charge more extra fees for little things. UPS is better, in my opinion. I got to tell you, if there wasn't an involvement in a dedicated rep that I could reach out to and say, okay, what's up with these extra charges and extra fees? I probably would say, you know what, hard pass, that type of thing. But for me, I did a UPS pickup arrangement where they never even showed up, and they charged me $18. So I don't know what that's about. Jet Fixer 65 says, we've had our best sales week in 17 years on eBay. 2 weeks ago, we've had our worst. Makes no sense. But overall, we're very happy with eBay. Fun part of the business. You just don't know what's next. Yeah, I mean, it's unpredictable sometimes. I guess if you're an everything seller like me, and I don't know if you are or not, it can get unpredictable. I got to tell you, if you're a niche seller like maybe Tommy, it becomes a little bit more predictable, I think. You know what times a year you're going to have slower sales. You know what times a year you're going to have better sales. And it's just crazy with an everything seller. You think December is your best time of year, and it was really our worst month of the year last year for us. LSGS Rob says, why not just ship in the morning, take it yourself? Sounds like this is extremely difficult and not reliable. You probably save money doing it yourself. Get up 2 hours early, ship by 9 a.m. Rob, you got to know how important our sleep is. We are, I value my sleep. Getting up any earlier than we already do, I don't know if I want to do. But it's just, look, anything I can do to stay at home and not have to get out and about. I know that sounds bad, but I want to get in a little routine, in a zone. And I constantly find myself already being, sort of taken off track because this comes up or that comes up. And if I can remove that barrier of just having to go, drop something off every day, it doesn't seem like a lot. Just go to the store, pick up a couple things at the store tonight, and see what time you left and what time you get back. And it's like, wow, I lost 30 minutes. And to me, I just don't want to lose that time. I think that's the biggest part of the deal for me as a reseller is there's just not enough time in a day to get the things done that you really kind of hope to get done when you wake up in the morning. And I just want to get rid of all the time sucks that I come across.
We do ship in the morning.
Yeah. Let's see. Ashley Sims says, my postal carrier is straight up evil. She gets so nasty just delivering my packages. Couldn't imagine if I scheduled pickup. Luckily, I'm close to the post office.
Wow.
Yeah, I think this one, according to her colleagues, because I'm like, what's up with our carrier? Why can't you be our carrier? He brings us bags and everything. And like everyone knows that she just doesn't want to do her job. I mean, that guy was like totally honest about it. Like, wow.
And it's not just one, one of her co-workers. Most of them say something, and it's not ever good.
Did they come and pick up our packages?
Yes, they did.
Good. Awesome.
And we have deliveries.
Oh, that's wonderful. That means the R word, the returns have come to us, right?
No, I think one might be, but
okay. Another one's not.
Poly bags.
Oh, okay. Okay. Jazzy's mom is in the house. Well, thank you for being with us today. From UK, not even a reseller. I sell in one category, new, and I watch every video. You two are fantastic. Aww. Keep up the great videos. You make my day. Awesome. Well, that made my day.
That made my day.
Awesome. I like seeing contents like that. No One Design says, Ashley, you and I must have the same postal lady. Mine is about 200 years old and likes kicking people's pets.
Wow.
She must work part-time.
That's terrible.
She must work part-time at the bins.
I would freak out if somebody kicked my dogs.
Prosper says, John, I sell mostly in UK. It's a small island, so easy to get the traffic for UK population. So I'm targeting UK buyers, but if I do get overseas, fair enough, but I'm doing okay without eBay sales and promoting. Well, that's awesome. Find what works for you. Look, this isn't about you should sell on eBay, otherwise you're going to fail. I'm sure there's people who sell just on Mercari and Poshmark and don't deal with eBay that probably do fairly well. It's just my experience that, if I took everything that I had and tried to go on those sites exclusively, I wouldn't make nearly the type of money that we're making right now. Let's see if I can get through and catch up to you guys a little bit. Noah Design says, I don't know, Roman. We tried being nice and give her a gift card on the holidays, and she straight up returns it back to us with a note. I don't take bribes. Wow.
I would be livid.
What is an old person? Is there like an old person store? Maybe you can get her a gift card to like an old person outlet or something. Maybe she'll be like, oh, I can't. I go here every week. I think I could use this.
Or a gift card for a new personality. How about that?
Yeah. That's weird.
Maybe a resume template. She needs to go work somewhere else.
Maybe get her like a tube of
retirement.
Get her like a tube of super poly grip and say, here you go.
Wow.
And say, that's not a bribe, honey. You need it. But maybe that's just wrong. Fisher Flip says, I only sell clothing and literally every brand is listed. For me, it's just knowing what brands actually enforce it. And that's it.
Exactly. We don't know.
Well, there's a list of brands, but it's never updated.
Is it easily accessed?
It's not. You got to look for it. And, it just all the rules aren't transparent. And even the rules that are out there, we talked about in a video before where, they're not even enforcing their own rules. And some of the reps think the rules are this when it's written a different way. Let's see.
Gail has a question.
Gail. Okay. John, how do we order bubble wrap and you get the refer credit? So I screwed up last week. I was in such a hurry to get you guys the link because, I was excited to talk about the sponsorship. And of course, I didn't talk about it today because I don't want the message to be, we're here to sell you stuff and like the content is secondary, which is not the case. It's the content. Then if you want to support the channel, that's secondary. But it's in the link. So if you go right now or whenever you want to, the description of the video, there is a link. It's probably the first link that you'll come across, and it'll take you right to American Bubble Boy. The link I gave you last week was not the proper link, and this one will. And it's not a whole lot. It's really not. It's they'll give like I think it's like if 10%. No, it's not even 10%. It's like $5, but it adds up. It's just something that helps the channel. But I'm already supporting American Bubble Boy in that we always talk about it.
We've been using American Bubble Boy for
at least a year and a half.
Over a year. And I have to tell you, the quality of their bubbles compared to, Staples or Walmart, way better.
Yeah. So yeah, the link down below is where you'll be able to do that, and that certainly does help. I got to tell you, if you're buying bubble wrap from like local retailers, Walmart, Home Depot, that type of thing, you are spending more money than you should.
Way too much money.
Prosper says, so John, if they're targeting your account and you get too many VEROs, what's going to happen if your account is suspended? Will you just use another account? Yeah, and I was told that you're really not supposed to do that. You can't access or you can't sell on a secondary account. But my other account never got suspended either. Just the main account.
We don't even have any we have nothing. We have never been given, an email from eBay about the other store on anything.
Yeah. Roman says eBay just doesn't want any lawsuits, and they will rather remove the listing even if it's on their VERO list than risking lawsuits. Yeah, but they don't want a lawsuit. I understand.
No, we get that. We do.
But do they really? I mean, let's think about it. Do they really not want lawsuits? Because if that's the case, why do they allow the items, the same items, to continue to be sold that they're taking down? That's the biggest problem I have with the whole VERO program. It's not consistent. Take it all down, and I don't want to see anyone get hurt. I don't want anyone to get suspended. But if you're going to tell one seller they can't sell an item, then you got to tell everyone they can't sell that same item. It's just the way I've always looked at things. So, let's see here. Amazon Seller 99. The only issues we've had on eBay with VERO is Avon, P90X, and a few random no-name brands. Well, you'll get your onesies, and you'll get your Velcros and all that stuff. Tommy says eBay has nothing to do with VERO. There has to be a report. Also, you don't know if the other listings are shipped to EU. Also, some accounts have authorization to sell brands. Right. But I don't know. I don't really honestly know. I mean, there is no way to know if there's one person, because they do tell you. They've told me on this, number of reps have told me, we do have a team in the back. Chances are it's your account's been flagged, and that you're going to be, you list something. Because I got to tell you, here's the reason, Tommy, why I don't quite agree with that statement as it comes to my account. Because I will list an item, and within 10 minutes, it's flagged. That happened 3 times to 3 different products. Now, you and I both know that, or most of us should know, that as soon as you list an item on eBay, that item does not go live immediately. It does take a few minutes for that item to go live. So we're talking, as soon as my item went live, it got sent to, I guess, a bot in the back room, and it got taken down. Oh. And it did not have time for anyone to even go through it and report it. I would see maybe if it was there for a few days. We're talking about like the mouthwash thing that I had, and the acne cream. Those went like instantly. Those went instantly to a queue. So I initially thought what you just said, but until that happened to me multiple occasions, it's impossible unless there's someone waiting for me to launch new listings and to hit that report button. But even then, it would take some time for that to get removed. So I just no longer feel that way. Let's see here. Roman says some eBay sellers that are selling specific rare brands will just call eBay and rat another seller out to eBay, saying that seller is not allowed to sell that product. And there is a way to do that. You can certainly report a listing. But again, I've been conditioned throughout my life to learn patterns and to see that, okay, if I listed an item, now this is the 3rd one of these where I've listed, and within minutes after it going live, it's been taken down, and I've been hit with the VERO, then it's not a person reporting it in that particular case. I'm just telling you, it can't be.
How do you know?
It can't be. I mean,
could have been somebody who's
nobody is on my account reporting every listing that I make.
Look at what's his face who had the stalker.
No. Nobody has that kind of time, to wait for me to list something and report it.
There are people in their mom's basements doing weird
Now that you've said
stuff.
that, there's going to be some whack job watching this, and they're going to do that. Just as you said, watch. So that's fine. But that's just what I think. Again, it's just all hunches. That's all I can do is go by patterns. And in my mind, it's just not possible. Amazon seller 99. I think sellers will continue to drop off in the next 6 to 12 months because it's getting hard. No easy money like during COVID times. When field thins out, sales will return to normal. And yeah, I'm thinking that, but I think the rep that we met with said something to the effect of, but yeah, when things get better, you're gonna have more people that are gonna, as far as when things get better with the economy, more people are gonna jump back on, and so you don't really necessarily want to wish for a good economy, because the field's going to be thinned, because there's going to be more people trying to sell that type of thing because they have money to invest in product. I don't know if I agree with that. Well, it is what he said. Let's see. Roman says, I said many times before that Amazon system of blocking products by using gating system is not what eBay sellers want to deal with. So for now, eBay VERO is what Amazon's gating is Yeah. No one designs says eBay VERO works like this. The bots throws a dart at a wall of sellers with VERO items, and where it lands, you're it. Very technical stuff. I mean, it may be. Again, that's a hunch.
Our name must be on there multiple times for it to happen. Seriously.
I am so far behind. Ryan Lab says, instead of a class, we need a few thousand of us seller apply for arbitration on this VERO, and that will get eBay attentions because it'll cost them hundreds of thousands. But it's sort of like the remark that, maybe we should all just, get together and like agree that one day we're just going to remove our stores. The problem is you're going to have people that aren't going to follow that, and they're going to make a ton of sales and nothing's going to change. Biff Boffo says, I believe a third party makes a request and eBay takes down the listing. The inconsistency in policies because the third parties are inconsistent. I believe that happens, like Tommy said, on a number of VEROs. But I think in my case, once, like for instance, I had an item that was approved to be like that cream was approved to be fine. We'll let you sell it. It's fine. I took it down to do an end item sell similar, and within minutes it was dinged, even though it was allowed to be up for months. Amazon seller, even big YouTubers are liquidating their inventory and getting out of the eBay selling biz. It's not so easy anymore. Doing the same thing that you did 3 years ago is not easy. I mean, in fact, we're not doing this. We're not buying liquidation pallets right now because it's just not. It's not the same game that it used to be.
Because not everybody's willing to bend the flexibility when the world changes. People don't want to change. When things change in everyday life, people don't like change, and so they don't want to.
I don't like change.
Make change. Like with this whole FedEx deal, I'm gonna have to get out of my own head about the way that I ship things now and do things a different way, getting out of my own comfort zone, instead of, what do you call it when I'm on, when I'm doing shipping, you tell me I'm what?
Oh, you're like tunnel vision. You're like in, not tunnel vision, but
you said something else.
Autopilot.
Autopilot.
Yeah.
It tells me I'm on autopilot all the time. And it's because I'm used to taking certain items, the way they're packed and the way they present themselves. I just know already how I'm going to pack it. So now I'm going to have to shift the way I think on different items.
Yeah. So take this measuring tape. It's probably like 1.5 pounds, right? So she'll see it's small and she'll wrap it. She'll put it in a bunch of bubble and she'll poly it. And then I'll get it and I'll go to run the label. And I'm like, this is like $10 to ship to this place. All you had to do is put this in a padded flat rate envelope, and it could have been $8.30.
In my defense, those bubble mailers are, for one, they're not in my site, in my little shipping area. They're off to the side and they fall all the time. And so I don't see them.
Yeah.
And because I don't use them often enough, they are not in the front of my mind. So when he points little things out like that, it pisses me off because it's something I overlooked And, you know, it's kind of like I want to slap myself.
No. The anger goes at me.
But it does go to him.
It go to me. It doesn't go to her. It's just like, oh, honey, I'm so sorry.
You know,
I'll remember next time. It isn't like that.
No,
it's like,
no.
How dare you?
No, I give him this look of.
Well, that's what it means when I see that look. But yeah, Tommy says, I have a friend in England, sells millions a year on eBay, was suspended without question for VERO. Doesn't matter how big or small. He lost tens of thousands for selling a water pill to Australia.
A water pill.
I mean, there's different ways VEROs can happen, right? And I believe with every fiber of my being, I believe one way is to be on a list where if you sell something or list something that is not supposed to be listed, and you're on that blacklist, boom, it's going to be taken down immediately. Whereas in other cases, someone reports it, or someone reviewing accounts or whatever it is, or reported by the rights owner. There's ways to get nailed by VERO. I just, in the back of my mind, I know that it's definitely can be, once you list an item, a bot tracks it and boom, you're hit. And it's been happening to me. Processes eBay don't follow their own policy, don't even act their policy when you point it out. There's zero seller support from eBay these days. eBay is turning more and more into Walmart. There you go.
Agreed.
Ryan Lab says, if you legally own something that is legal to own, you should be able to sell it whomever you please, whenever you want, without retribution. That's the first sale doctrine. But again, there's workarounds. I mean, technically, if there wasn't a VERO program, they could come after you as a seller, some of these brands. And I do know that some brands do come after sellers for various things. So thankfully, it hasn't gotten to that point. That would be just horrible. Let's see. Anytime Pickers, Ryan Labs, you're right. But unfortunately, the law is not implemented by eBay or Amazon. They can lay down their own rules. Since people sell on their platform, they don't have control over that. That's right. It is eBay's. We've talked about this before. It is eBay's playground, and you know, you got to either agree to play by their rules, deal with the flies in the park, as we were talking about, or you know, you can get in your car and go home, you know, and not be at the park and around all the flies at the picnic kind of thing. Anarchy is freedom says, oh, okay, well, if I want to mark something down, just drop the price, never do coupons, don't see a need to. The reason why it's different than just changing the prices,
it's a state of mind for buyers.
Well, yeah, but the reason why it's a state of mind for buyers is because it'll say, save 10% now, use this code. It pops up right in the top left of the listing, right? And people like to save money. So they're like, oh, wow, I can get 10%. Now, people aren't good at math. They just know they can save something. So they apply the 10% and they're like, okay, I was thinking it was more of a discount, but okay, you know, and then they buy your item. eBay shows them another item, the same item that someone else is selling at a lower price. And they're like, okay, well, then I want to cancel and buy this other item, right? It's just the way it is. You're playing to the buyer's emotional side in that, wow, I can save money.
Everybody likes a deal. If they see a coupon in there for an additional 10% off, I'm all over that. I will shop website after website after website to find the lowest price. I will get what I want and for what I want to pay by doing that.
So Sandra says, I left for 20 minutes to watch the 60 Minutes eBay stalking scandal. I'm appalled. If you think you're being targeted, you are. Right? All should watch. I mean, look, I don't want to think that, but I mean,
I don't want to think that, but that's just proof of what we're saying.
You know, it's just a pattern. And if I'm put on, and I'm like I said, I'm very, very certain of this, that I'm on some blacklist in the back room that more than one rep has talked about being a back room kind of thing. So unless they're all conspiring to come up with a story to tell sellers that call in, but based on patterns, I know that that's a thing, and that shouldn't be a thing. Shouldn't be where anyone's being, you know, put on a list, and as soon as you drop that listing that violates VERO, we're not waiting for someone to report it. We're just going to hit you right now within minutes of listing. That's a problem for me. Let's see. AIU from eBay says, it's not you trolling, but it's pretty wild channel. I have to say, has me inspired to make vids because he's gone viral twice and has about 600 subs.
He's talking to Tom.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, I have more than that. Biff says the other Logitech listings may not be set to Europe. eBay doesn't have a VERO policy page because it always updated and it's probably too nuanced to keep track of. So
no, I totally get that. And that's what my argument was too, is I get it. However, how are we supposed to know?
Well, here's the thing. I check listings. I go into the active listings. You can click on other details in their shipping and it'll show you this item ships to these countries, has a list of countries.
Mm-hmm.
And on multiple, and they're talking the same exact model keyboard. That would be this, these are all listings that are still up for sale. And if you can check to see, the duration of the listing, these have been up for a while. And for them to say, okay, here's the email address that reported you. You need to contact them because they reported you, when, it's like, okay, well, why didn't you report the rest of them? And then they tell you, look, this is the policy you violated. You click on that policy and it doesn't point you to the actual policy. That doesn't change. I mean, maybe the list of brands that participate in this program may change, or brands and model numbers and all that. But the policy shouldn't change. The policy should be well written to say any brand can come to us and say, we don't want you shipping to Zimbabwe anymore, and we'll stop, shipping to Zimbabwe. But that's not the case. You don't give us sellers a chance to even learn that. That's the problem that I have. I'm going to catch up for sure. Let's see. I think you guys are talking about another channel, so I'll avoid that conversation. Thomas says, John, recognize the pattern is liquidation. Rip the Band-Aid off, make a left turn out the driveway. Let's go. Well, but here's the deal. I mean, look, a brand new keyboard, sealed, factory sealed Logitech keyboard. We could pick those up at a yard sale. Someone might. I mean, that's probably where this one's going to go when I have my next yard sale. So someone will be in that same boat if they put the listing out internationally. But liquidation does have its issues. I got to admit, if you're selling those third-party off brands that don't want to be sold on eBay, I've been hit with one of those before. It's just the way it is. And I'm not, you haven't heard me complain one time about those instances. When it's my fault, then it's certainly my fault. And that's on me. That's on me because I should have known better to maybe sell that third-party brand or whatever that nobody else, let's say nobody else is selling. That's on me. But I'm talking about the ones that I can definitively say, yeah, this seems pretty fishy. AIU says, it's hard to say, not to say, you should be watching so-and-so. That guy knows how to sell in a severely sarcastic tone, and then play like the person mentioned is actually awesome, and then fight like I love them. I am way behind on that conversation. I didn't see the sidebar conversation to know what in the world is being referred to. No One Design says, as long as eBay legally is active on removing VERO items, even though they don't remove all of them, they are in the clear and no lawsuits. Yeah. Tommy says, if an account is permanently banned, your IP addresses, MAC address, home address, name variations are all blocked. So that was my understanding of that. Chris says, I'm a firm believer that eBay should not allow items to be listed that are against policy. Yeah, it should be just like we were talking before. If you go to list something that shouldn't be listed, or to a location where it shouldn't be listed, I mean, with AI, I mean, talking about, look, I don't know if you guys saw the reports in the news. I don't want to talk about news stuff, but like Elon Musk and those guys are like, hey, you need to put a kibosh on this AI thing because, ChatGPT 4 just came out. And if you come out with a 5, it might be pretty bad. So that just shows you how advanced AI is. And if you actually were to apply, eBay can go in and pay and apply AI so that when you launch a listing, okay, this list is constantly being updated, so it's impossible for us to know. But the AI can go and like, oh, this was updated 36 minutes ago. You can't launch this listing because you no longer can send this brand to South America or whatever it is, right? So that would be a positive way for eBay to manage VERO. And I think it would work. You wouldn't have to have that guy that's constantly looking to remove listings if you're serious about trust and safety. And that's where my doubts come, because I'm not thinking that eBay is all that serious about it, because in doing AI, you're investing money. Where?
Need a screenshot Roman's comment right there.
Where?
Right there.
Jen is absolutely right.
Screenshot that.
Wait,
hold on.
You forgot one word.
Hold on. I gotta wait.
You forgot one word. Sometimes.
No. Mm-mm.
Once in a while. That would be sufficient also. Chris says, in order to finish my statement, I believe a company this large is capable to do this. Just my 2 cents. Yeah, I think AI is here. I think eBay would be, for other things too, not just VERO's, but other things. eBay can utilize AI, as scary as that sounds, and it would be a benefit to sellers. Let's see. Kina says, Jen, I believe you watched Salty Cracker talking about those whack jobs in their parents' basement.
No, I don't know who that person is. Maybe I watched it, maybe I don't. I don't know. But there's some crazy people in this world. They sit in their mother's basements and they cause
we met one
havoc.
We met one, the one that bought all those records from us and then did chargebacks, and you go in like, wow, okay. And so it's like some weird emails, and like, let's look this guy up.
They have obsessions with stalking people and doing the things that you and I would never think to do. They are obsessed with doing weird
things. There's too many people out there to even care about me. I'm just some yahoo that does live streams. You just don't know, though. Yeah.
Look at you went to the yard sale on Saturday and you got recognized. You never thought that would happen. Yeah. There's guys sitting in basements, or girls. Okay, who knows?
Tommy sitting in basements. John needs to listen to that Taylor Swift song, "Hi, It's Me, I'm the Problem, It's Me." Come on, Tommy. I know. Look, when there's times it's my fault, you guys probably not even hear about it. There's been many times I've screwed up and I haven't even talked about it.
I think you have told on yourself.
Not every time.
Not every time. No, but.
Let's see. Mad Hatter's Boutique. My eBay sales are doing better than they ever have. It just depends on what you sell, your feedback score. Having quality buyers will follow your eBay store and are loyal buyers. I agree with that.
I agree.
Here's Noah Design. Says, folks, here's a pro tip. If you're very social in the media, to protect your health and your reselling business, do not make it public. There's a lot of people online that's 5 quarters short of $1.
That is absolutely 100%.
Right. And I always felt kind of skeptical of having my store name out there. You guys watch this channel since the beginning know that I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I want to give it to you because, here we are. I'm thinking about my traffic, but I didn't want to say it. But there's weird people out there. There's weird. You're that guy or girl out there and you're kind of a little weird. It's not me just making fun of you. It's just the truth. There's some people that don't have the best of intentions. And I don't necessarily want all my information out there. But of course, as the channel grew, I had to give that information out because it's called credibility. If you're some guy that's talking eBay and you don't even have an eBay store, well, how can I really believe what you're telling us? So that's why I did that.
Like, our Instagrams, our personal Instagrams are all on private. You wouldn't be, you probably could find us and maybe ask to be a friend, but is your name going to be recognized? It's for me to approve it.
Yeah, Mad Hatter, reach out to me. I'm not a Golden Knight fan, an Angels fan, Raiders fan. That might upset some people, but sorry, that's just me.
Money makers, Golden Knights.
Yeah.
Make money.
No. I'm talking about for my own personal thing. I'm not trying to sell hats. I do sell hats, but I don't sell my own stuff. So yeah, hit me up.
Hats? He said gear.
Yeah, but they have hats, I'm sure. You guys know I like my hats. Thimble Munch says, eventually big business will abuse VERO on eBay like they did on Amazon and ruin it for everyone. That's why I don't sell branded products. Brian says, if I drop a listed item price 5%, how long does it take eBay to send the watchers an email saying the price of their watched item is dropped? I was under the impression it's within minutes that happens, but maybe someone has the exact answer. But it's not too long after you do it. or not too long after the listing goes live. If you're doing well, of course, you couldn't do a sell similar on it. It would just be the adjustment on the listing. As soon as that goes live, then that goes to the watchers. Tommy says, Jenna, be honest, all the problems with takedowns and VERO, what percent is liquidation? Rip the Band-Aid off for him. I don't know what the percentage is, because see, I'm in my own world, as you guys know. I don't deal with like a niche. I mean, if I had a niche, then I would be able to probably agree with you. Like when I was selling nobody VERO'd me for patches. I didn't get a single one. There's an element of truth to that. I agree with you about liquidation. But for me, if I can buy liquidation at $2, been many of these instances lately. I buy something for $2 and then I turn around and get 75 to $100 for it. Then I'm willing to play the liquidation game. It's just it goes along with the territory that I'm playing.
I think though, the items that I can think of right now, only some of them came from yard sales, and a few of them. How many have we had? 4?
Something like that. So we don't do large yard sales very often.
Only one has been a liquidation. Everything else was yard sale.
Yeah. So look, you're going to see
complete honesty.
You're going to see more.
I would tell him.
You're going to see more VEROs from liquidation. I definitely agree with you on that. But here's the way to solve this problem. Tommy, give me your source's information.
That'll never happen.
I promise not to take all the Hoka shoes and the clouds from you.
Hey, those are on sale right now.
Yeah. But send me your link. Or let's meet up at wherever you get your shoes, and let's kind of split the merchandise down the middle, and then I can change my business model.
Yeah,
that'd be perfect. I'm sure you're up for that. I'm sure you agree with that.
Yeah.
And then here's another thing. Thimble Munch says, I'm an engineer and use ChatGPT to reverse engineer eBay. I'm about to open it across North America. Are you serious? That's kind of interesting. But I know ChatGPT can do a lot of things, and lately it's been able to access, I believe, information on the internet as of like 2021, September of 2021. If you ask them to find information any newer than that, it's not, at least the version that I'm able to get to, does not have that ability to. But I guess they use something like the Wayback Machine to get data. And it's pretty interesting tool. It's kind of fun to play with. Let's see here. We're almost done here.
Design wants a new ringtone or a new cha-ching for his eBay, and he wants he wants RGB.
Yeah,
he wants the squeaking of my chair.
Yeah, I think you're on it, Tommy. I think that was the guy. And that was the situation. So that was like, wow, I was going to make a video about it. And Jenna's like, don't you dare. So that guy, that weirdo who was, and if you're out there, weirdo, hi, how are you doing? Nice to see you. But that person who did all those chargeback on those records, was really chatty with me, and then did the chargeback. And you look it up and it's like, wow, this guy is a little loose here, missing some marbles here. Tommy says, you have a shoe source, list them. No, I want the kind of shoes you have. You have like top tier stuff, and I think that would remove my VERO problem forever if I had that source.
You just got a VERO,
but not quite the same number of VEROs. I mean, it would lower the VERO.
We've only had like 4.
Well, in my case, I'd still get a lot of VEROs. He would not get the same VEROs as I would, because I'm on a black.
You both could list the same pair of shoes, and we would get VERO'd, and Tommy wouldn't. And that's the god.
Thomas says, AI is going to destroy the world. Future of the world is going to be full of window lickers with ChatGPT running their life.
Liquor.
Yeah, it's going to be bad. I don't see. I currently see a positive thing for ChatGPT, but to the point where it's going to take people out of jobs and stuff, because a lot of things are going to become automated. Even like they're talking about, you go to fast food and you want your order taken, it's going to be an automated process through AI. And no one's going to be there to ask you what you want on your Big Mac. It's just going to be someone at the window taking your payment.
Well, there's bars out here in Vegas that you go to a bar, right? There's no bartenders. They're robots.
Yeah.
Making your drinks. It's the weirdest thing. I've never been, but
Roman says eBay doesn't send Vero since last update. Vero server has been glitching. I need to get off that Vero server. Let's see. The Thimble Munch, they will ban ChatGPT to consolidate power soon. You just never know. I don't know how that's going to roll. I know they're trying to put a kibosh and a stop to any advancements, but it would be, if I was running eBay, I would get on the AI train and try to automate a lot of these things that are causing issues with sellers and even buyers, whatever that's, that scenario may be. But there's a lot of room on eBay for something like an AI. I can tell you that. Truman Lost in Time Picker says, my mom says to invite my computer friends over to the basement apartment. She'll serve butter cookies and Kool-Aid. So with that, guys, we are a good almost 2 hours into this, and time flies when you're having a great time. But look, the Veros that are happening to me may never happen to you. I mean, I have my own hunch, just like someone else might have their own hunch as to why something's happening. And it's just the way it is. Also, when things change, like the USPS first class, I think a lot of you guys are going to be affected by that. Hopefully it's going to be in a good way where this program keeps the rates low. We'll see what that is, what that means. I mean, the way things always seem to increase in rates, I wouldn't doubt if there's a rate increase that goes along with this, but we'll just have to wait and see. But again, these are all examples for me and maybe for you, how flipping ain't easy. And I want you guys to have an excellent weekend here, and we will talk to you soon.
Have a great
maybe over the
weekend.
weekend on a video, but if not, we'll talk to you on the live.
I hope everybody has
Monday.
great weather.
Yes.
Bye.
Take care, everyone.